Plans to use part of the M26 as a giant lorry park in the event of a no-deal Brexit have been branded ridiculous by residents living nearby. Currently, more than 16,000 lorries a day pass through the Channel Tunnel and Dover Port, and it's feared that any extra checks could create a bottleneck that would mean traffic chaos throughout Kent.
This weekend, work starts to prepare a 13-mile stretch of the M20 for a contraflow system between Ashford and Maidstone, which would allow up to 2,000 lorries to park on one carriageway and traffic to flow both ways on the other. There are also plans to close a 10-mile stretch of the M26 near Sevenoaks to accommodate up to 2,000 more lorries.
But people living nearby fear that vehicles will instead simply reroute, and that will cause gridlock in their villages. Our environment correspondent Yvette Austin explains.
July 2015 and much of Kent was brought to a standstill as delays crossing the English Channel triggered Operation Stack and the M20 became a lorry park. Fears of a repeat come the end of March has prompted Highways England to try to make better arrangements. But there's deep unease, particularly in West Kent, where campaigners have for years been wanting slip roads to be built on and off the M26 at Sevenoaks to ease congestion.
It's polluting the villages, it's a safety related issue, it's causing an immense amount of environmental damage in places like Sill. The old part of the Sevenoaks town is thundered and rocked day and night by traffic that simply should not be there but should be on the M26, facilitated by simple slip roads at Junction 5, Sevenoaks.
Under Highways England's plan for a hard Brexit, this stretch of the M26 has been earmarked to hold 2,000 lorries. But no slip road here at Junction 5 means any coming from the south on the A21 or the east on the A25 can't get onto it. Locals fear gridlock, and they're supported by the MP for Tunbridge and Malling, who expressed anger in the Commons last year.
Neither the Department of Transport nor Highways England has asked to hear the thoughts of those affected.
He's now won a concession, with capacity at Manston being increased from 4,000 to 6,000 lorries.
What we also need, however, is we need resources from government to help the police and to help the borough and county councils to make sure that any problems caused by such a lorry park are dealt with immediately and quickly so they don't impact on people who live nearby.
So drivers have a number of hours that they're allowed to drive to. In exceptional circumstances that can be extended, but ultimately we need to make sure we don't have drivers driving tired, that they have access to basic welfare facilities, so toilets, food for example, and that we're properly looking after them.
Residents in West Kent aren't expecting new M26 slip roads in time for March, but say their importance for a vast area of Kent and Sussex may finally be being realised.
Well, our environment correspondent Yvette Austin is in Detling near the M20 for us now. And Yvette, tomorrow work is actually going to be starting on the M20. What impact is that likely to have?
Well, what's going to happen is that they're going to actually close the motorway overnight between Ashford and Maidstone, and that's between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. And now 8 MPs have in fact though written to Highways England because they say that they want the motorway opened earlier in the morning. Otherwise, they say school buses are going to be late picking up children. Now, there's also going to be roadworks, narrow lanes and 50-mile-an-hour speed limits, and that's going to be as of the 12th, that's next week. But of course, they all hope it'll be finished in time for the end of March.
OK, Yvette, thank you.
In a moment, the UK's first black chief constable wants in charge